another electric car, but today I'm actually quite excited because I've got something good to show you. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone welcome to Jaguar I-Pace. As you would expect from a Jag, it is pretty stylish and I think very good looking. Some similarities to other models coming out of Coventry, but this car has been built from scratch, so Ian Callum has had a lot of room to play. Now the cabin has been moved significantly forward since there's no engine. The shape more of an SUV, the style a little bit of a liftback, finished with those posh Range Rover style handles. Well, let's hop in and see what this electric cookie is all about. So you've got 4 different driving modes to select from. There is ADSR, which is a mode for difficult conditions, rain, snow, off-road, eco, comfort and dynamic, which is the mode we're gonna leave it in. We've just set high recuperation, which means when we release the throttle, the car will brake harder. Now, surprisingly, we are not traveling in silence. We are hearing the motor and it sounds a little bit like a spaceship. Now, it's all a little bit fake because the sound is actually generated by the speakers. If you don't fancy it, you can switch it off. It's not everybody's cup of tea. On some days I do enjoy it, but on most days I switch it off because I do like traveling in complete and utter silence in this car. It's just so lush. So the declared acceleration 0 to 100 is only 4.8 seconds. However, in many tests, this car has achieved 4.6 seconds. Now, I do not have that machine that measures 0 to 100, so I can trust my blood judgment. When you put your foot down, there's definitely that beautiful shove in the back that you get. It is actually very impressive. What else is impressive is the braking power. We've got a lot to manage. 2,257 kilograms to be precise, but this car actually manages in a beautiful way. So if you would if you decide to, from 100 kilometers an hour, to decide to stop, that's all. It doesn't take too much of a distance to stop this car. And you see, what I really like about it is when you are stopping, actually, you don't feel as if it's a big elephant stopping. It's just a nifty, beautiful way of stopping. Music is fair to me, sing it, come on. And let's take a look at the boot space. A very decent amount of room. You can carry a lot of clutter. I'm happy with that. But the reality is that in daily life you will hardly be using the brake pedal, because as soon as you release the throttle, the car starts to brake softly using the motors and of course charging your battery at the same time. Now you can adjust this force, but I've got to say that the default setup is pretty good, and of course you are getting the maximum range when you are driving in this way. And how does it feel to be a passenger in the I-Pace? Well, the space here is absolutely lovely. I've got great leg room. I've adjusted both of these seats for my height, which is 1.7, 5.6. Good headroom. I love this glass sunroof running across. You can also fit in third person. You've got just a small hump in here, but overall, such a beautiful space to be. You can put on your dress. We can play your favorite song. But at any point in time, this car is ready to show you what it is really capable of, to show you how sharp its claws truly are. I mean, it's ready to hop on the motorway, overtake straight away, but as you can see, I am not hopping on the motorway because I'm on a curvy road, and this car handles beautifully. It loves curves, it doesn't bend, it doesn't roll. It's just such a beautiful experience. Because of the position of the motor, we've got a very low sense of gravity, and this translates into superb handling. Honestly, it is the best electric car in terms of handling I have driven so far. The steering is sharp, it is extremely responsive. I mean, extremely responsive. It is not something perhaps that SUV lovers will actually appreciate. What else is very un-SUV like is the suspension. I mean, the ride quality is beautiful. It's a Jag ride. But at the same time, even if you pop it into normal mode, the suspension isn't overly soft and fluffy. It absorbs most of the bumps and imperfections, but you definitely feel the sporty character of a Jag, which is something I absolutely love. So here is the thing, as soon as as you hop into this car, you forget that Tesla actually exists. Sorry, Tesla. So entering feels like getting into a typical SUV. However, the seating position behind the steering wheel actually feels quite sporty. You've got a huge adjustment range for both the steering and the seats. And the seats are not just beautiful to look at, but they're so lovely to sit in. They feel so good. Actually, so does the rest of this cabin. The quality of the materials and the finishing is just superb. It is very Jaguar. It is very me. I absolutely love it. Now, I've got the real leather seats. Surprisingly, it is not obvious with all electric cars, because in some electric cars you can't actually have real leather. It's not great. The ceiling is Alcantara or something Alcantara-like. It's just so soft. It's soft as silk. Overall, well, what can I say? Jag is Jag. Go up. Go down. I must correct myself about the suspension. It is a comfort mode, not a normal mode. Blonde hair means a lot of confusion often in life. Okay, let's talk about numbers. So Jaguar declares a range of 470 kilometers. Now, that's a bit of a lie. Well, it's not actually if you trot around town calmly, I mean really calmly. But as soon as you have to heat up, cool down your cabin quite often, well, that throws your range out of the window. What else throws your range out of the window is simply if you decide to just delight yourself in this beautiful acceleration like I do it. It is absolutely lovely. So the realistic figure, I'd say, is about 350 kilometers, which is actually still a pretty good result. Okay, so what about charging times? You can charge this car from home using a regular socket, and it will take, for every hour of charging, actually, you're gonna get 11 kilometers, versus majority of public charging stations, you're gonna get for every hour 270 kilometers. So quite a significant difference. I am a bit of a lazy bum. I like to charge it at home. But what I've noticed with charging at home, even if you charge it for a day or 2 or 3 days non-stop, you will never get the full range, the 470 kilometers, because as soon as I hop into the car and I look at the range, and what it is showing me is about 335 kilometers. So it just shows you it pays off to get your lazy bum to the charging station. Now that we're on numbers, let's talk money, honey. So the starting price of this car in Switzerland is 97,000 Swiss francs, which is more or less an equivalent to the US dollar. Now the model I have with me today has got some bits and pieces added, and it is worth about 115k. Interestingly enough, in America, this car is about 15k cheaper, because us peasants in Europe can pay more money for cars. Why not? Okay, let's not complain. I think this really brings me to the end of this video. What are my final thoughts on Jaguar I-Pace? Okay, so I've driven a couple of electric cars by now. I've driven the Kia e-Niro, I've driven Mercedes-Benz EQC, I've driven Audi e-tron, and I will tell you that this car by far, and I've got no shame admitting it, for me is the best electric car I have driven so far. Yes, I do have a soft spot for Range Rovers and Jaguars. I'm a bit of a, you know, a Range Rover girl, but it doesn't change the fact how good this car is. It's not another NAM SUV, oh no, it's far away from this. It's not a big elephant like a lot of SUVs, especially electric ones, tend to be. This is nifty, this is alive, this is dynamic, it's got beautiful, beautiful punch, which I absolutely appreciate, especially when I don't have anybody in the front of me like I have right now, because I can't I just need to accelerate, because this is what this car does to you. So all in all, I think it's a beautiful SUV. You know, having a Panther around your neck or on your bonnet does carry certain responsibilities, and Jaguar proves that they can build a fantastic electric car. And I actually think that the I-Pace is very much underappreciated, because people want, you know, big SUVs, but this is a spacious car. This is a beautiful, punchy car, and I love it. So I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. A big thank you to Jaguar from Switzerland and Patrick for lending me this car. As always, I look forward to your comments and your questions, and I shall continue my delightful journey. I wish you a wonderful day, whatever that you're doing, and I shall see you all very, very soon. Bye!
I'm going like 1, 2, 3, 4, looking at you when you're on the floor. 5, 6 Ready for that heartbreak?